This year, president of the club. And it's great to see everybody here. Hopefully everybody had a great spring break and has had a great weekend. I want to say hi to everybody that we have on Zoom. We still have through our. It's great to have all of you online and on what's happening. So we're not getting to the thanks. We have a number of guests we'll get to in a moment. Before we start the meeting though, please Tommy Oliver and give us an introduction and start the meeting all the time.
Thank you, President Tom. Welcome, visitors. If you guys have tired of heads, we'll start with an invitation. Lord, thank you for bringing us all here today in the name of Rotary, the name of fellowship, to sit together and not just to invite me, but to talk about what we can contribute to the world and how we can improve it together. We ask that you remember those of us that suffer silently, or that maybe going through things that aren't on the surface. It's a business meeting, we can see each other superficially, but we specifically have conflict with those who may be missing a loved one or suffering through a broken relationship or anything like that. We ask that you bring us together to support each other, to support this world, and to support all of the endeavors that we put our hands to. We ask this in your name. Amen. If you please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, beautiful for stage, the sky is for and the way celebrate. For perfect woman, since and just peace. This praise on thee. Dying sing. Our feet, they are life. That spells Rotary. Say, all great and members for my time. I will. We've had all their time, maybe do it more time. But as far as the guests we have here today, let me start over to the left. And the next Robin, we have a guest today. Just stand up and introduce yourself and you can hear with it.
Great satellite. Found out advice guide and from actually online trying to get involved. Eric has helped me through the process of getting here in commercial real estate at ATP and Raleigh. So that'd be great.
Great to have you, Grace. And behind you, do you want to take a second? Yeah, there you are. Yes, it's Anna.
Enjoying being you guys present. Thank you.
Very good. And let's see, Tiffany. Let's see, yes.
Well, Keith is not here yet. He's on his way for the ales and houses. And if this is campus stuff, this is where the level time. I'm new to the area in general, just moved here from New York. But brought my business back down here, so I wallpaper, light construction projects, wall finishes, wood, I need wood, accent wall. Here, Tiffany found me in the chamber and brought me in today, so I'm really excited to see what it's all about.
Okay, that's cool. Your birds are good, yes.
All right, so this is the action at the City Club last week. And he was there,
And several groups there over in there. We are recoders and collaboration arms, we specialize in things like we do the compensation, and things of that.
Great. All right. Great to have you.
I'm
Scott, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Scott.
Yes, Scott Stady. He's actually yet to Bill Ford. Bill couldn't be here today, but,
So, Scott Stanley, I'm a visiting member from Terry Runner and a potential member. A few months ago, I changed jobs and I realized professional engineer and I went from project manager with irrigation, general contracting, located just a couple blocks from here. I've been downtown for a few months now. I went to further home to get back to Terry for the, let's say, month meetings. So, work out here.
And just, I'll give you one.
Amanda Burns, who is talking here, and the consultant, nurse, Ed, and also the other team. Good afternoon, I'm Amanda Burns. Thank you for having me today. I'm an account executive with Top Coder. Top Coder is a software development company that specializes in producing high quality solutions and outcomes via our unique challenge-based model. So I've known Jessica now for several months. We've been running into each other constantly at some events, and so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with you today.
Good.
Thank you also to Jeff and Brandon, who've heard 2 or 3 times in the past month as well. That city, Linda McCullough, was himself for the bar, and I do work with Lake Net every other weekend for over 20 years. I did find a hole in the market with one of my teams was actually struggling to figure out a way to get her better. So it's something called a Zydascan, it's FDA approved, so I created Zydascan.com. So it's a way to be really intensive through something like a learning because it's got a and critical that someone puts their hand on, and you know what's going on, and what supplements, oils, and food will help balance. And I'm actually mentoring people on how to do that. But I'll tell you, the way I think we'll be very
All right. And we'll just have to have you again as a regular guest. Turn that into an application and it's good to see you. I hope you brought a guest today. You're in your good son.
I want to introduce you to my good friend, Demetrius Deloach. He was born and raised in rural North Carolina. He's the first generation college student that attended Elizabeth City State University. He's currently a senior consultant for APCO Worldwide, where he's a global public relations and consulting firm. So at APCO, he specializes in all aspects of government relations. In addition to his work at APCO, he is also an adjunct professor at St. Albans University. In his role, he teaches American national government and encourages the students to seize opportunities and achieve excellence. Demetrius takes his pride in giving back to the community, which is why he's interested in an organization like Rotary Club. And Demetrius also enjoys public speaking and encourages young men and women to dream big and achieve their dreams. So he has 2 interesting facts. One is that he's part owner of a vodka brand named 712 Vodka. He's also college roommates with a very own Rotarian, Devontae.
And there are 2 guests at the table in front of me, Kelly. Kelly's visiting us from the Raleigh Club.
Rotary is coming down for a visit. I'm a business broker with VR Business Brokers, and my boss is the speaker today, so I thought it was a good chance to come. And it's a great chance to see another podcast. It's a great group you have, so thank you for letting me join in.
It's great to have you.
Yes, Gary is my good friend, for over 20 years, and I just sponsored him at our prior club, and I think the 50 years back. Good training, you heard of that, good. That's good. Yes, I'm Gary Davis, and I work with Doria Underwood, we're a consulting firm out of Charlotte. We work on, projects that are critical and in danger, not going well because of the people. So we're management consulting, really more on the people side of things. And so excited to be part.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you. And this past weekend, the Event Alliance of North Carolina and our longtime member Heather Hooper had a great event that you'll see a little bit about later in this. Remember, the profits on our table are for the collections that go to the Event Alliance. Spare change, dollar bill, $5 bill, you don't get cash. They're monopoly, dollars on there, you write it amount. And your name, and we'll bill you over that, but this remember our red buckets. We had a big event with our treasurer, with Charlie and Andy Davis, just had a baby boy, just a week or so ago. So congratulations to no, I don't feel on congratulations, that's great news. Also, we placed two of the new club business cards at each of the place settings today. And you can see it here. Front back, these are new cards just for if you meet someone who gets talking about us or your Rotary Club and they're interested, you can give them one of these cards. The QR code on the back goes directly to our website. Otherwise, ways to contact us and our basic information. So let's keep those handy. If you need more of our cards, please let us know. I know we have more out to you, but we've been featuring some of our more longer tenured members. I don't know if Charles is on Zoom today. I mean, maybe up in the mountains, but Charles King, 39 years in Rotary, back in 1984. That's just as soon as I'm doing, give Charles a hand for that. Man, well, let me show you this farm. It's on his elevated organic farm and these things. Upcoming meetings. Next week, we're going to hear about the Raleigh Sister Cities program from the new president of the Sister Cities program. And first is going to be very interesting. Susan Gravely is the CEO of Vietre. He spoke with us 4 or 5 years ago. He turned from nothing and it's America's largest importer of Italian skins. Very fine ceramics, beautiful, but she's written a book. Italy on a Plate, which is about her experiences and has great recipes. It's about Italy. If you'd like her to sign the book, if you'd like to get it, order it ahead of time and bring it. She won't be bringing the book with her herself, but it made a great gift. Whether it's birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas, whatever, ahead of time. Italy, when you order it, bring it in, first. And then our own Robin, who's here today, will speak to us about her 16-year career on the North Carolina Supreme Court, from which she just retired at the end of last year. I'm looking forward to that. We do have the district conference coming up on May 6th. It's unique in this year in that it's just a day. It's not a day and a half. We have to go spend the night, get a hotel and all that. It's close by in Chapel Hill. If any of you are interested in Rotary beyond just what we do in our club, go to the district conference. There'll be a lot of people from a lot of other clubs, a lot of district leaders, and find out what's happening on the district level. So I think it'll be worth it. And Harrison and I will be speaking at it on a couple of panels. So we participate in that, and other members will be going as well. So put that in the calendar and register at DAC TV or ask how to register for it. Yeah, problems negotiating that. Last Thursday, we were at the City Club for their business expo, holding down a table, spreading the good word about Rotary and about our club to other people, to other businesses who were there, and other people just kind of going around, looking at tables with other businesses. So you can see the folks who participated in that, and it was a lot of fun and worthwhile. Tommy.
Yes, sir.
You want to do the raffle?
You want to do it now? We'll do it.
Sure. So if you want raffle tickets on the way in, and Tommy's going to, tell us who the winner is.
So guys, donation required to participate in the raffles, and we appreciate everyone's participation. This money goes to the club, I don't want to get it. So it is important, to the club, it's good fundraising, so. All right, let's see, Terry, you have an opportunity to buy a ticket, they want to pick us winner, today's lucky winner, by the way, $112. So if you like to buy one. All right, let's bring this ticket number out. We've got. I got 8, 0, 0, 1, 6, 7, 9.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being $102 from Richmond.
And now we have a special event for Scooby Knows the Neighbor this week. We'll get to it next week. We have a special event today. We're privileged to have here as our guest who has visited us before in another capacity, but we have past District 7710 Governor Marie Howard, who's with us today and sitting here. And she has moved beyond being a district governor for the district to being in charge of everything having to do with the Rotary International Foundation on behalf of the district. And she spreads the word about what good that money does, that's contributed to the Rotary International Foundation. It's distinct from our Zone Foundation, it's a large worldwide foundation. And so that's Marie here today to say a few words about Rotary International Foundation, and also to honor one of our valued members, Patty Irving, for a very special honor and a regional excellence. So Marie, if you'd like to come up and take the mic, I'll leave it to you.
Pleasure to be back here and see your new face. Can you hear me, or do I need to lower this mic? Oh, okay, so this could be a disaster. Okay, thank you for inviting me to share a special milestone today for Raleigh Rotarian. As a preface, I'd like to answer the question, why give to the Rotary Foundation? Especially, why give to the Rotary Foundation when the club has a foundation too? Like most Rotarians, I believe service to others enriches our lives and is our obligation. To quote Shirley Chisholm, service is the rent you pay for room on this earth. I believe that we are expected to give generously, reflecting our personal good fortune. And to quote John F. Kennedy, those to whom much is given, much is expected. I believe that choosing the Rotary Foundation for my philanthropic gifts is a wise decision. An independent evaluator of charities, Charity Navigator, has given the Rotary Foundation the highest rating, 4 stars, for 14 consecutive years. I believe in supporting projects close to home. Donating to the foundation's annual fund share assures that half of my donations will be returned to our district to support projects endorsed by our Rotarians. But I believe there are humanitarian needs which I'm not aware of. But these needs are understood by other Rotarians. I'm happy that half of my gift to annual fund share goes to the World Fund to address these needs around the globe. So in summary, I believe that donations to the annual fund share of the Rotary Foundation is perhaps the most effective use of my charitable gifts, addressing needs both close to home and around the world. Today, I'm privileged to honor an individual who embodies a life of service today and every day. This individual has answered the call to serve Rotary as club president, later as district governor, and now through the District Rotary Foundation Committee in several roles, including Peace Fellowship Chair, Global Scholarship Committee, and is a multi-million-dollar journey fundraiser. Continuing in this trend, in 2024, he will follow me for a 3-year term as District Rotary Foundation Chair. It is my honor to recognize past District Governor Patrick Rooney, who has generously contributed to the Rotary Foundation and through these contributions has participated in our major gift fundraiser called the Multi-Million-Dollar Journey. And through this has achieved major donor level 2. Thank you, Patty, for your generous support. You give to others not knowing their stories, their faces, or even their names. Through your generous act, you demonstrate that all fellow human beings are worthy of compassion. Your act of kindness is a seed of peace that will change lives of children, young people, and adults, communities in the world to which we all belong. Thank you, Patty, for illuminating a path of humanitarian service. So Patty, please come forward and accept our congratulations. Your gift inspires others to give, not just of their treasure, but of their time and their talent. In recognition for your investment in the Rotary Fund programs and projects, I'm going to present a major donor level bid. Now, you made it difficult. This man is so different. He really did. Because not only do I get to pin him, I have to unpin him. He had a major donor level 1 pin on with a Paul Harris Society chevron, which means that he is committed to donating $1,000 every year to the foundation. Let's swap. Okay, this is a bit tricky. Okay, so major donor level 2 means that Patty has given cold hard cash to the foundation of $25,000 or more. So please congratulate.
Thank you. I don't do this for the recognition I do it, so I really believe in the Rotary Foundation. Let me say this very simply. I believe the work that Rotary does changes somebody's life each and every minute, each and every day, somewhere in the world. I believe that the Rotary Foundation is the lifeblood of what it is we do. If service is the beating heart of Rotary, the lifeblood is the foundation. And giving to the foundation is going to be sure that we will continue to serve people locally, nationally, and throughout the world for the rest of our lives. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Patty, and thank you for coming out to our state to present that important award to one of our most board members, Patty. Next, there are different ways of raising money. Sometimes it's raise it whole hard cash from one's pocket, or there are other ways. And we have a fun way coming up that Gary Summer is our president-elect and fundraising chair for this year. This one is fun. Gary.
Thank you, President Tom. My name is Carrie Suffer. I'm this year's fundraising chair, and as Tom said, next year's the president-elect for the Rotary Club of Raleigh. So on May 11th, we're going to have right across our street at our Friends City Club, the wine tasting where we're going to sample 4 wonderful wines. We're going to have a silent auction, a few raffles that we're in the midst of planning, which are going to be really exciting. And it's all going to raise funds for the Rotary Club of Raleigh and the club's foundation. As you all know, prices for everything have been increasing, so this is a very important fundraiser to help offset some of our dues and help us maintain a good budget going into next year. I don't know about you, but when I was driving in today, I was looking at the lowest gas prices I could find, because I'm gonna have to fill up on gas on my way home, so just everything's kind of hitting the roof money wise. So my big ask for you all is we are looking for donations for the silent auction. So on your tables, you will see a letter to help solicit those donations, and on the back is a tax receipt that we will fill out and send to whomever donates. So next week, I'll start collecting at the meeting donations for the silent auction, and I would love it if everybody here and on Zoom could donate just something from maybe a $20 gift card to, of course, we'd accept anything, a higher value item, but anything we could put into a gift basket and will help us build a beautiful silent auction at the event. We're also going to be testing and using a new program called GiveSome, which allows you to put all of our silent auction items online. So even if you are not able to come out on May 11th, you will be able to bid on those silent auctions via your cell phone or computer. So tickets are $80 per person. It's May 11th, Thursday evening, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Encourage you to bring a guest, a spouse, partner, friend, coworker, and share to them what we do at the Rotary Club of Raleigh. Again, this is very important. We're raising funds for the club. It's going to be a great, fun night. We're going to learn a lot about wines, and it's a great venue over at City Club. So if you have any questions, we're also going to have some sponsors. If you're interested in a sponsorship, you or your company, please come see me. Eric Jones, aka Juicy, you raise your hand. He's going to be our fundraising chair next year, or Linda up at the front. We can help direct you. Yes, Linda.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm sending out the site today. It will have to give some fundraising link there. And so there will be some silent auction items that are already in with GiveSome. And then we'll start a week before the fundraiser. Then even if you cannot make it in person, can't buy the ticket for $80 and be there. You can bid on the silent auction items, and some of them are really cool. There's sports memorabilia that's been autographed, as well as like a trip to New Orleans, a trip to London. It's everything in between. So just want to link to that.
Thank you, Linda. For those on Zoom, the e-guide will be sent out today or tomorrow. Please check the text in the e-guide. There'll be a link to the GiveSome site, and there are already some silent auction items on there that you can bid on, starting a week before the event and then all the way through the event. So thank you so much. Please come out on May 11th. It's going to be a really fun time. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Gary. This is anything you enjoy doing, you think somebody else might enjoy doing, whether it's going to a particular restaurant or going to a different club. We're going to put the silent auction. I donated around golf with Maine. I also donated another prize. The winner will get to MC the May 15th meeting of the club here instead of May. So. We wouldn't get it on that. This is a report from Richard David on service. We had a busy service. Richard.
Good afternoon, Rotarian. We are doing the hat trick of service this month. Service social. And
I'm sorry that from our service social that we had at the end of last month, we collected all the nutritional snacks for kids for schools. And that was our take. And that was the email we got back. So it does some good, and these are distributed out to school kids now. So thank you, everybody.
awesome. So we had this yesterday, there was the dementia walk, and we had 18 hours volunteered from our group. Thank you very much. I understand it was a very successful event. We've got 2 more events coming up. The first is our American Cancer Billion for Life. It's in Lafayette Mall on Saturday. There's still a few volunteer opportunities available. They're basically 1 2-hour shifts from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night. And there's one I really highly suggest, we're between, I think, 3 and 5, we set up the luminaries for the folks who lost. And I encourage you to sign up for that, and then come back out and watch it lit. And it's apparently very moving, and basically it's at night, and all you hear is the hum of the HVAC of the buildings. It's so quiet just to watch it, so. And then we also have a Wig Smiles volunteer event, which is filled. We only had 4 spots in that, we got 5, and it's all relation support, so we're really excited about this. In May, we've got our next service project. We're gonna be with Kevin and our Habitat project, May 13th. And I encourage you all to participate in this. And then in June, we'll be doing a collection essentials drive for our friends at No Woman No Woman. So that'll be the end of our calendar year. And you know, I was telling Tom, this week is actually National Volunteer Week. It's spinning and it goes with the day of service. And I think I said this before, volunteering is a privilege. It is a privilege of time. And as you all know, time is our greatest commodity. And we can use this commodity for the greater good. It's very impactful. And I think everyone in this room, this group, we all subscribe to the ideology of service to oneself. But this group in particular, we demonstrate service to oneself. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this organization and all of you. So, thank you very much.
Let's move right into membership. Here's the turn.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. To all of our guests, we're so thankful that you're here. And I hope that through today's meeting, you've just found a small glimpse into what it means to be a Rotarian. This club loves our community well, from the nonprofits we support to the service projects that we do. This is an active club. There's a lot of need in our community, and we need more people to come and join us as Rotarians to make a big impact in our community. So thank you so much for being here today. We've got a couple different things to take care of today for membership. The first is we have 2 second readings. Neither member could be here, potential member could be here today, but just as a reminder, we have Chase Breeden, who is sponsored by Jessica Cunningham. He's a financial advisor at Edward Jones, as well as Sam Goalie. He is sponsored by Frank Manali, and he's a senior project manager with CyberArk. So if you've got any questions around them or haven't had opportunity, they'll be here at the next Rotary meeting to be inducted. But if there's any inquiries around their applications, feel free to reach out to them. Next, we have Sam. Sam, if you will please come up front, as well as Tom. It wouldn't be regular Rotary Monday if we didn't induct somebody. So happy to have Sam join our club. Sam, your membership application has been reviewed and approved in accordance with our club's constitution and bylaws. We will now proceed in admitting you into membership of the Rotary Club of Raleigh and to the friendship of Rotary throughout the world. But first, we have a couple questions. Question number 1.
Will you join us as we strive to live a life of service of self?
Yeah. Question number 2.
Will you join us in our activities for service projects and fundraising activities in support of our community?
Yes. And will you join us in supporting Rotary's efforts worldwide, which focus on these 7 areas: promoting peace, disease prevention, providing clean water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development, and protecting the environment? Yes. And fellow Rotarians, will you join me in fostering and supporting Sam as he joins us in the pursuit of adding value to our community through service of self? If so, please say I do.
I do.
Beautiful. With that, Tom, would you please provide Sam with his little towel? Please wear that with pride. And fellow Rotarians, will you please join me in welcoming Sam to the membership? Thank you so much. Two last things, for reminder, please put this on your calendars, April 27th, that's next Thursday, from 5:30 to 7. We're gonna be at Transfer Food Hall, not too far from here. It's a great venue. There will be different places that you can get drinks or food, and wide open space there. So Thursday, the 27th, from 5:30 to 7, Transfer Food Hall. You saw the picture of the snack that we got in the back of Tom's car. I'd like to see that doubled. We had 15 people come to the last one, so let her beat that number, 15. It's a great opportunity for you to make up if you missed the meeting, as well as to connect with other Rotarians. And last, I think we actually have a mess up here. We need to get a new badge because it says Eric Jones. Everybody knows who Juicy is. He is a wonderful representation of what the Rotary Club of Raleigh stands for. He's active. He's completed everything that he needs to move from his red badge to his blue badge. So Eric, I provide you with your blue badge, my friend. Thank you so much for your commitment to the club.
Thank you, Harrison, and congratulations, Samuel, and Juicy as well. It's great. Samuel, it's great to have you inducted into the club. We have a couple of, one birthday mentioned, Randy Whitson, our friend at NC State Chancellor. It's his birthday on the 20th, and then Lee and it's his birthday on April 20th. And with that, I'm going to ask David Forrest, please come up and introduce our speaker. Yeah. David, go ahead.
In my 22-year career, I've stood up and done intros at least a couple hundred times, and this one takes the cake. So Neal Isaacs moved to the Triangle from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where he was a shark diver. He actually moved here to open a store where he sold Nemo and Dory. Eventually, he sold that business, and now there's other businesses with an option for exit. He lives in Garner with his wife Vivian and his son Aiden. So without further ado, Neal Isaacs.
David asked me if that was all true. It is 100% true. I did swim with sharks at Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I used to have a joke that when I became an intermediary, that how hard could it be because I already swam with sharks. You can deal with the attorneys, no that's the attorney, but no problem working with attorneys. It was great to work with. So thank you for having me. My name is Neal Isaacs. I'm an honored and privileged to speak to your group today. Obviously, you guys do so much for the community. What I'm going to share with you today is some detail about business sales. I'm a transaction agent here in the market. Kelly's passed out some of these flyers. We market pulse flyers. This is really good data. If you don't have enough, this QR code should get you to something close to the same thing. So before I get started, I just want to share a little bit about why I think this data is really important. So some of you are entrepreneurs, some of you run small businesses, others, probably everybody in the room knows an entrepreneur or wants to be an entrepreneur. And as we get into this research, I think you'll see a pattern that owners don't always have the best options for exit. And they're ill-informed, they think their businesses are worth more than they own, and there are things they can do to prepare. It could be more rare. I don't consult businesses for sale. That's not what we do, but we very much do work in that space, and we see what does well. So that's a little bit about why it's important. The data I'm going to share today is primarily it's a state of the market address specific to kind of this is a Q4 in last year. It's the most recent data we have. Then we speak to 2022 as well, how small business transactions went. And we need two different sources. One is that this guy undertakes the IBDA guy. The other is one called Bid Buy Sell Market Pulse Insights. So it's pretty much a US type of view, and it's very much focused on lower middle markets of small businesses. Like if you go down Target Street, small businesses right here in Raleigh, up to larger business. Main Street is lower middle market. That's kind of the focus of the research I'm going to share with you. I'll give you kind of the overview right now, we'll get a little bit more granular into the research. 2022, obviously, inflation was the big deal. Right, so we started to see that towards the end of last year, and 2022 actually started really, really well, and it kind of crawled, we kind of lost all the gains that we caught up, that we were seeing at the beginning. Again, this is Q4 data, we don't have Q1, but it hasn't really gotten that much better in Q1, but there's still optimism for the rest of this year. And when credit tightens up, it's harder for business buyers to get financing, to buy business. That directly affects business owners that are trying to sell things. So those are some major points that we're seeing. And then the last one I'll touch on is that service businesses are really in demand. And that's been an emerging trend for some. So those people that sell a service, that's in more demand than saying widgets or any type of product. The service kind of growing really quick. A few more highlights, and then we'll get into this report. The business sales were up like 5%. There were more transactions. I pulled some local data. Biz by sales started about 740 transactions. The small, medium-sized businesses in the triangle market, about 740 were sold last year. That's what was recorded. There's a ton more than that are never reported. But as far as third-party transactions, about 740 here in this market. And for those main three types, those ones were doing like $700,000 of annual revenues per year. So that's kind of what a small business sounds like. And having been a small business owner, I can tell you that's about what small businesses kind of used to do. They keep some part of that. That was down last year. Owners did more top line revenue than what's bottom line. Both of those were lower in 2022 from 2021. So there's this weird thing that's happening where you figured out from the pandemic. And yet it's like, I call it the COVID hangover. Like you think we're done with this, but then there's these weird ancillary effects. Like during the pandemic, we thought we were dealing with that. And then all of a sudden there's a supply chain issue and there's a interest rate issue. So we keep seeing these oscillating curves that are really affecting small business owners. So that's kind of an overview. I don't want to dig into this chart. For those of you who have it on your table, we'll keep looking at this together. I'm just going to read some of the data that I think is most significant. On the second page, and again, if you have a phone, you can scan that code. It kind of defines the markets that we're looking at. So when we talk about small business, we're talking about a business that is doing up to about $2 million. The value is around $2 million enterprise value. And then lower middle market is considered $2 million up to $50 million. When you get above this $50 million business, now you got boards of directors, it's just a different type of thing. It's probably not one person or even a family controlling it at that point. So that's kind of the focus of this study. And if we look at these businesses, the number one reason that deals did not close on the third page of your column in your books is for financials. These business owners, they can't tell their financial story. And I can tell you, Kelly and I see this all the time, where somebody comes to me, comes to our office and they want to sell a business and they talk about all the money they're making, and we get their financials and we can't really see that they're making money, right? And this is a common thing with small business, that they do make money, but the financials aren't clear enough. That's the number one reason that we see that deals fall apart for financials. Otherwise, challenges with getting deals financed are a common problem, and unrealistic expectations are always a problem. Also on page 3 now, we were seeing more deals with multiple offers, which is a great thing for business sellers. And this is different than real estate. We all remember the crazy real estate market where it was insanely competitive. People were paying ridiculous amounts for diligence amounts. That's not as common in small business, but we do see more of that in the larger businesses. Larger businesses have more competition for getting multiple offers. And that's a trend that we see is multiple offers on this one page. Now, the fourth page of this guide is, I call this like the money slide. This is probably the most important chart and slide. I'll talk you through it if you don't have it in front of you. I always think about that show Tool Time. If you ever seen, who's watched Tool Time, right? And who's the neighbor of Tim the Tool Man Taylor? You remember the name? Wilson. he talked over expense to Wilson. And when we talk with owners, we always hear kind of like what Wilson said. We always hear, oh yeah, I have a buddy and he sold a business and he got 10X. We hear that a lot. And that's just kind of what they hear. They don't know what X is. They don't know what 10 is, right? But this kind of like word on the street. This data in front of you is real numbers from real transactions. Over 500 brokers who submitted their data. And what we're seeing is that owner that takes on about $100,000 a year to grow the business, they're getting about 2X. If they take home $100,000, the business may be worth $200,000. And that's of the bottom line. That's not the top line. And that can be a very sobering thing for business owners to realize. But these numbers, the 2X for the very small businesses, and then when you have a business that's on the larger side, they may get 5 or 6X. These are actually pretty consistent numbers going back as long as these charts have been created. They move a couple points, but rarely do we hear about getting 10 times what they did in annual sales last year. So that's kind of a misconception. So these are real numbers that you see. Another interesting chart on the same page is that businesses can sell for 90% of what they're listed for, what the benchmark price is, selling price or asking price. Again, a little bit different than real estate. In the crazy times of real estate, we saw businesses for real estate selling for well over price value. Small business owners are getting about 9%. And then larger businesses make 100 or 110%. So that's pretty interesting that you don't have it's not as competitive and so I find that interesting. We chart these over time. Moving forward on the 5th page, there's a chart and it kind of goes up and down. You can kind of see it from here. It's a very interesting one because there's some pandemic performance here. Seller sentiment. How optimistic were business owners that they could find a buyer for their business and get a kind of a competitive market going for the business? Well, that dropped in 2020, and then it jumped last year, 2020. Well, last year from this survey, 2021, it went to record high numbers. Guess what? It dropped again in 2022. So this kind of goes back to that story I was talking about, where we had the pandemic, it was new to everybody, and we got some semblance of normal, and then things started to come back to normal, and then new challenges, inflation, challenges with, we're talking about how expensive gas is, how much your ag, all of these things really hurt business owners' ability to make money, and business buyers being bullish on buying this business. Seller sentiment came back down again end of Q4 last year. So this market confidence thing is really going up and down. It's swinging pretty wildly. A couple more pages, and then I'm trying to wrap things up. If you take questions, we have time. Deal structure is covered on this page 6 about how do owners get paid. And this is a common misconception as well. Here's the keys, I'll take the cash. That's not as common as in business transactions either. When you hear about creative financing or deal structure, what someone's kind of saying is, I don't have all the money now, or I don't want to pay you all the money now. How can we get this deal done? Comes down to a lot of seller financing, which means that the owner is the bank, and then other types of structures were made. They pay later based on performance, which is even worse than just seller financing. The trend with interest rates going up, with cost of capital being more expensive, is more this seller financing. Owners work really hard, build a business, they're not happy with the value, and then the business buyer is saying, I want you to be the bank, I want you to finance this for me. I can't get financing from the bank that, with SBA at least, in a fashion that makes economic sense. Mr. Business Owner, I want you to do that. That's an emerging trend that we're seeing as interest rates go up. It's something that owners need to know about. There are advantages to selling. Advantages, but we've seen a lot of them. It's always a conversation. One more, and then I think we're going to start to wrap up these. This guy here. Like the real estate, there's so many parallels. People understand how real estate is. Business sales take much longer. You can sell a house in 2 months. The research here indicates small business, 4 to 6 months, large business up to a year. So for those owners saying, here it is April, if you decide to sell your business right now, there's a high probability you're looking at 2024 before you're off your next adventure. So this gets into planning ahead, that's a long time from now. Owners need to start way longer than they think about. And that's something that we talk about when we have our first conversations, like how soon do you need this done? If they say tomorrow, then we're pretty real with it, that's hard. And then lastly, exit plan is the final slide on this piece of research in front of you. This gets back to what I was talking about with the number one reason that owners go on market is retirement, which makes sense. People are retired, they want to do retirement small business, and then health and family reasons come after that. But the interesting thing is that 75% of these owners, they haven't put a lot of thought into this. The question is asked, have you done any planning for the exit of your business? 75% of these small business owners are saying no, they just decided to stop working. So as a professional that's helping owners with their options for exit, looking at how some of these factors that we talked about, are the quality of the books good? Are you going to reach the amount that you're looking for? When they say no, we haven't planned at all, we just want to sell, that can be a challenging thing. So I'm trying to get the word out about planning and small businesses, that it's going to take longer than you think, that you may want to clean up your books. These are some of the things that we get from reading this research. Larger businesses, there tends to be more of that. All right, and then the last thing I'll wrap up with here is 2023. Some of the research in this, it does look forward a little bit. Some of the stuff that I gave you was a little bit doom and gloom, a little bit dark. The research does indicate that despite the fluctuation that we see with interest rates, and even though it is harder to finance these deals, the experts, if you will, there's a lot of optimism that we will continue to basically, if the business makes money and it's transferable, so somebody else can step into that owner's seat. Business owners that want to sell their business, they have lots of options. Plenty of buyers out there. People, the spirit of entrepreneurship, which is kind of what I started with this presentation. There's plenty of people that want to be entrepreneurs and jump into those businesses. So those owners that have a team, that are making money, that can tell their financial story, they will be successful in selling their business. That's some of the takeaways that I get when looking through this research. If we have time on how we're doing it, I'd love to answer any questions that might come up.
Would you recommend anybody buy a restaurant these days?
Restaurants sales are actually up. That's part of the research indicates that restaurants are selling. One thing I say about restaurants is it was not easy to sell a restaurant or run a restaurant before, and it's only gotten harder since then. Dave, yes.
Neal, four of my clients have sold out in the last 12 months. 3 of them really said it was due to not being able to find good labor.
Yes, the labor
It
shortage.
felt like they had plateaued. What are you seeing as far as labor trends?
So for the folks that didn't get a question, labor shortage falls right into this thing of interest rates are rising. It's one of these things we didn't foresee coming. It's concerning to me, Dave, when I hear that. I hear that from more now than ever. The reason it's concerning to me is when we hear somebody that wants to sell business, we want to hear personal reasons. When it's an economic factor like labor, interest, or other factors, that's going to affect the next one. What we hope for those owners is that we're going to find somebody that just has a different mindset, that they're going to find labor differently or change the labor structure of the business. But that's a concern of mine, because we hear that more than often. Yeah, labor shortages still going. I think it's getting a little bit better, but it's going on for a long time.
Do we have time for one more?
Sure. Couple more.
Yeah. So I think it's more into the business of the person.
Yes.
I was curious, is this buy sell, is that like the inventory, is it kind of like the equivalent of them all?
It's a great question. The question around biz buy sell is one of these research pieces came from. We actually don't have an MLS. And in this market, it's not regulated the way that business sales are not regulated the way that real estate sales are.
So unfortunately, it's kind of, business brokers always list their businesses on this by itself, but anybody in here can also go on that website and list something. So the veracity of the data may be suspect. You can really see it between the listed and sold businesses. Short answer to your question is, most businesses for sale will be listed on that particular listing site, but it's not a listing, it's not in MLS, it's markings.
All right, next slide.
Sure.
You already got the presentation.
Thank you.
Neal, before you go, you'd like to, think of the token of our appreciation. Wonderful. Your own Rotary cup with a 4-way test on the back, and I hope you enjoy that. Thank you very much for free. Thank you. And once again, thank you to all our guests here today. It's a pleasure to meet each and every one of you. And Marie, it's great to see you again. And Patty, congratulations once more for the very special honor. With that, if you'd all stand, we'll do the 4-way attendance. Of the things we think, say, and do is the truth. It is fair to all concerned. Will be beneficial to all. Meeting adjourned.